Hello and welcome to Series 1, Episode 9 of Bad Influence. I believe we should be in the year 1993, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what the new year has in store for us today. Doop, doop, doo, 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 doo.
Hiya, welcome to Bad Influence. We start the new year with a look at the newest format.
I was right.
Software on
Ooh, CD. Oh, look at that. Awesome.
Our main review this week is the gorgeous looking Echo the Dolphin. On the next
Oh, frustratingly difficult, Echo the Dolphin.
And I'll be explaining how powerful computers can be used to tinker with reality.
Interesting. Let's see what we've got.
But first, there's only one game so good it appears on practically every format. Any idea what game it is? Well, it first appeared on the Amiga in 1991. It's completely
Lemmings.
original, and it stars these small furry creatures who've got suicidal tendencies.
Has there been a Lemmings game recently?
On the Amiga.
Like, even on iPhone or something like that? I generally don't know. I have to look that out. Does Lemmings exist in the year 2025?
When they're in their first state, they just walk into things and walk off things. So you have to give them different skills.
I always remember the music being awesome.
So you can dig down, they can get home, and this level's very easy because it's the first one. But in later games, you need to use all the various different skills to get the right way. For example, you can make them into floaters, so they float down from heights or climb.
Floaters.
Climb over things.
I'm such a child.
You just click on that, and you've got a 5-second countdown. 3, 2, 1. Ah!
She's rotten, isn't she? This is the same level on the Spectrum, which is a much older and simpler computer than the Amiga.
Specky.
All the essential
Oh,
elements are there.
brilliant.
Unfortunately, no mouse or joystick on this game, however. I have to move the cursor around using keys on the keypad and then assign skills to the Lemmings by pressing another one, which I'll use with the thumb to make him a digger like that. Obviously, the graphics are quite limited and there aren't many colours to play with either. And whereas in other versions of Lemmings you may be asked to deal with up to 80 or 100 on some of the more advanced levels, on this game you'll never be asked to deal with more than 20, which is about my limit, actually.
Actually, I do agree with that. Lemmings also need saving.
I think I had it on the SNES. Sure, I had it on the SNES.
On the SNES. And on
Yeah.
this one, I have to make the Lemmings into blockers so that they don't fall off the platforms. And when you think things are going swimmingly, which they're not exactly at the moment, but now I've made that one a blocker they are, you can press on this and they come out 5 times faster, which means you can also test your skill because you've got to get there a lot quicker. And I think I'm going to lose a couple here. Ah! You can change the different skills by using these buttons.
I do like the black monitors that they use in Bad Influence. They're really cool.
On the other one to use them
I wonder if they're kind of special kind of TV type monitors. They're really, look at there. Awesome. Nice CIT monitor.
They're tiny backgrounds and tiny...
Oh, that'd drive me mad if it was on Gameboy.
And it's just as playable as ever.
Small might be beautiful, but this is state-of-the-art Lemmings. The game is exactly the same, but this is the Apple
PC?
Macintosh version.
Oh,
with
Apple.
graphics and
Apple Mac.
digitized
Nice.
sound. On this level, whereas Violet was using the blockers to stop the Lemmings moving, I'm going to use the blocker and turn him into a bomber by selecting the explosion from the bottom.
Well, that's going to kill a few Lemmings, surely.
And then after the countdown, he will blow a hole in the floor there.
Oh,
And
no.
all the Lemmings
Stand
will be able to
corrected.
walk through. I select another blocker, and I will position him right by this wall, and then I will give him the task of being a bomber as well, and then hopefully he'll blow a hole in that wall, and all the Lemmings will proceed home to base safely. Well, at least that's the theory.
If you fancy having a go at it yourself, all the details of the different Lemmings formats are at the end of the programme in the data blast.
Nice.
Our main review this week is Echo the Dolphin on the Mega Drive. Echo
Mixed
was a happy
feelings
and
about
carefree
this.
dolphin until a mysterious vortex ripped all
Nice
life from the
graphics,
sea.
but
Now it's got to
drove
swim
me
around,
mad
find
when I used to
his
play it
friends, save the underwater
because they had to
world.
keep going to the
Here's
water,
Alex.
the top of the water to
It's a
breathe.
really unusual game. I've never seen anything like it before. It's great to see a fresh idea on the market.
Yeah, he's got a point. Fresh idea. It was different.
Uses sonar to talk to the inhabitants of the sea. Some of the puzzles are very hard. This whale obviously isn't going to help much in finding my pod, which in case you didn't know is a herd of dolphins. There's loads of things to do in this game. The crystal there is a key, which when you touch it gives you magical powers to open up different doors. You've also got to get air pockets. Because you're a mammal, you're an
Yeah, drove me
You can also use
mad.
sonar to bring up this map. This
Oh
shows
yeah,
you
that
the
was
level.
cool. I remember that.
Always keep your eye out for loose rocks and shells. They can come in handy. What I've got to do is, with this shell, is nudge it against the first rock, and then balance it upon my nose, and I can get through.
God, so infuriatingly difficult.
There's loads of baddies on this level. These pufferfish you've got to headbutt and then you can get past them. Echo is fast, fun and very addictive. I gave this one 4 marks and I'd definitely buy it. It'll last for ages.
This is really gorgeous. I like the fact that you've got to solve a mystery. This is a really brilliant game.
Everyone raves about this game, but I didn't like it that much. The graphics are good, and it's a good original idea, but it didn't keep me interested for long.
Well, there you go. Mixed reviews today.
The boys gave it an excellent 4 out of 5, and the girls liked it just as much. They gave it 4 out of 5.
There we go. Nam Rood, first one of 1993.
Nice one, and got all the rappy-uppy things that you wanted. I got loads and loads of cards, and here it is. Thank you very much, Daniel Chant from Gillingham. Anyway, on with the 1993 cheats. Now this one is for a game called Swith on the Amiga.
That's the Enterprise serial number, registration number.
-1701. Then
Nice, nice. Someone's a nerd.
Infinite lives. Oh, all right then. It's not a very good cheat, but I've got a headache. Oh, turn it down. Clear off.
Computers and special effects. They're something you tend to associate with movies and the silver screen, but actually some of the best effects around aren't on the big screen at all. This is a commercial. It uses state-of-the-art 3D graphics and was made not in Hollywood, but in London at the Moving Picture Company. Gareth Edwards, the designer, explains how it's
awesome.
This is the live action after it's been transferred from film onto video.
So where do you actually start once you've got your live action footage inside your computer screen?
Well, once I've got this picture into the computer's memory, I can digitize or trace a computer graphics
just like what you do today, isn't it?
Of the character, like this.
Obviously, it's a lot easier and a lot more complex depending on which way you're doing it, but yeah, that's awesome.
I can tell the computer that is where the object is, and it'll remember it.
Right.
Which is like the very first place where we start with the transformation from a 2-dimensional picture into a 3-dimensional object. Now I can tell the computer to go into its animation mode and play back to me the frames that I've digitized into the computer's memory. Once I've done that, once I've got the silhouette of the object and I've got a rough position for the arms, I can actually go ahead and start getting complicated, which actually means doing all the bendy bits.
Oh dear.
Which is the...
It's complicated.
It gets complicated.
Using a feature called a shader ball, Gareth can start to put shading on the
that's
graphic.
cool.
He then
I
adds
like that.
lettering and a bit of texture until he gets the right look.
And we add them together, we get that kind of effect. Now you can see the reflections on the surface there.
Yeah.
The reflections of that surface are created using this picture.
Why is there a haunted house on the screen?
Yeah, what's that?
Almost anything will do as long as it's the right kind of
Because it's moving
texture.
around
That's
so much
right.
and stuff, you're not really going to notice. How long has it taken you, the two of you together, to create this sequence?
Believe it or not, 7 weeks.
For how much actual animation on screen?
About 20 seconds.
The thing is, you could probably,
When
you or
Gareth
me,
finished
could probably
making
do that
three-dimensional
in your
graphic
house
version
now,
of this
or just get
computer,
AI to do it. It's crazy how things have changed.
That's operated by Paul. What the Harry computer basically does is combine the real people and the computer graphic and make it all look, well, real, if you like. Where do you start, Paul?
This is the clean background as it was shot, like that. So first of all, we need to put the computer graphics on to make sure that it's going to fit.
Well, if Gareth got his dot-to-dot right, it shouldn't
Exactly. So there we can see the computer graphics being combined with the live-action background. Now the first thing we can see is that it looks stuck on. It looks very, very sharp. So we need to soften it. We also need to knock
it's
the
quite
colours
cool,
back a
isn't
little bit, just to make it sit in that bit more. To get rid of the arms, we take it into an area of the Harry
I do like that
called
kind of...
paint box, which allows us to actually paint on
Oh,
the
what's it
screen.
called? Pad,
So frame
pen
by
pad
frame, we
thing.
have to cut out areas of the picture.
But it looks really cool.
And then we
You
stick
think
those
about what you could do with an
down
iPad
onto
these
the
days.
area of the picture where the arms
This is just
are,
a forefront for
which
that.
enables us to remove the arms.
The Harry machine is the one which adds all the finishing touches. The one I like best is called Motion Blur. Get this.
The way we do the motion blur is we take it again into the paint box.
It's just like doing Final Cut or Premiere Pro or any number of different products.
Area of the picture. And
This
using
is really
that
interesting.
like a tool enables us to actually smudge the picture underneath.
Just
can
like
mimic
it,
that
what you can
on the
do at home
actual
now.
computer graphics
Brilliant.
To give it, again, that added little bit of realism.
So now you know of all the hard work and computer magic that goes into creating just one commercial. Now it's done, all we have to do is sit back and enjoy the finished product. And possibly a biscuit. Anyone?
If you've got a home computer, there are several graphics packages around that will let you produce and manipulate 3D images yourself. But now for this week's news and previews.
What we got today?
Sonic 2, take heart. This week saw Sonic Tuesday Mark II when the Game Genie codes were released for Sonic's second adventure. Now,
yeah, there we go. Timeline that.
Challenges, or if you're having problems, you can put in some brilliant.
Because we were talking about Sonic 2 at the start of this series, weren't we? So it's kind of
N8A.
how many? It's been like a couple of months since it came out.
To start Sonic with 99 lives. Or you can make Sonic invisible by typing in the code ALTACA8N, which makes the game a lot harder because you can't see him.
Nice.
But the best effect puts a rocket under Sonic so he whizzes through all the levels. Now you get that by entering CBVTCAE2. All 42 Sonic 2 Game Genie codes are in the data blast at the end of the show. And next
that's cool.
Special feature on
I like that.
devices, so watch this
Ooh, that should be good.
Here's a sneak preview of Dr. Franken 2, due out soon on the Game Boy. The stars are still the good Doctor's creations, Frankie and Bitsy. But this time our hero has a problem with the electricity board. He can't pay a mega bill, so he's got to hunt high and low in an effort to find old Dr. Frankenbone's money. Go to it, Frankie.
New Year's resolutions. Number 1, do not get kissed by Violet, yes. Take less exercise, yes. Right, deep techies.
Definitely you can test one of those.
That lets you skip straight to level 2 on
What?
the Steel Empire on the Mega Drive.
Everybody wanted to. Everybody wanted to.
And keep pressing start. Here we go. Flicking through all the option screens. Wait for it, wait for it. There you are, on level 2. Amazing. Right, I better carry on with my New Year's resolutions. Number 3, be nicer to Spiky the Hedgehog. Yes, all right. Number 4,
Didn't he eat?
kissed by Andy. Yes, that's a definite.
Didn't he eat the hedgehog? I'm sure he did.
Don't worry, Nam. There's no chance of that.
Ooh, Mega
This
CD.
is the latest Mega Drive from Japan.
Awesome.
It's called the Mega CD, and not surprisingly, the software comes on CDs, which you pop in just like you do.
We had a preview of that in a previous episode. If you've not been watching, go back and see my other videos for it. Cheap plug. But this is pretty awesome.
Press the A button and sit back and enjoy some wonderful graphics.
Top Gun?
This is Afterburner 3.
Oh,
You can see the
of course it's
quality
Afterburner
is
Top Gun, you know what I mean.
just like it does in the arcade. Amazing stuff. Mega CD games won't run any faster, but they will be bigger, and the reason is because you can get so much more information on a CD than you can on a standard console cartridge. For example, a CD could easily cope with all the information of this, the entire Oxford English Dictionary. In fact,
Nice.
this one does. All 20 volumes.
Ah, more Lemmings. This is a CDTV, which is basically an Amiga
CDTV.
paper with a
Ah,
CD drive. You want to
nice.
get the CD drive separately to plug into your telly so you can play your CD games that way.
Nice.
Basically, it works.
Didn't really hear that one before.
Very powerful.
I thought it was a CDI.
This is a flight sim that's being developed for it. The fractal backgrounds are coming straight off the CD. Also, there are loads of educational packages and games that are currently being developed for it. But that
Nice,
comes
looking
with
good.
Keyboard, mouse, and a floppy disk drive. You can play your older Amiga games on it while you're waiting.
This is the most user-friendly interactive CD system. It's called CD Interactive, or you can abbreviate it to CDI.
Hey,
and it's being sold
it's
heavily
Philips
as a complete
CDI.
home entertainment
Awesome.
system. Now, because you can get so much information on a CD when it
Do
comes to
like
games,
them.
you can really make use of that facility. This is a golf simulation. I'm on the first tee, ready to take my opening
They had a
shot, but I'm facing
problem
the wrong direction.
with
So
the
with this
internal
first
memory
tee,
though,
position
the
myself,
battery in
I'll
it.
shoot it down the middle of the fairway.
And that's if you want to try and get
Now,
one
watch the guy
nowadays.
move. I've
That's
decided what position I want to shoot it from.
the
Not
problem with it. It
like a real
fails and
fella.
it can't. You
I've
can't
already
save
chosen the club I
anything,
want.
and then it kind of
So
like
now,
bricks
I'm
it.
just gonna give it a right good belt, and it should go straight down the middle.
But I do like a CDI.
There's about 50,000 photographs to choose from on this CD, so wherever my ball has landed, in the water, unfortunately, the CD will be able to pick it out and show me exactly where I went. Of all the formats, I think this golf game is probably one of the best. There are other games around, but the hardware in the CD area is wonderful, but I think it would be fair to say that the software hasn't really caught up yet. You can also play your music CDs on this, and you can get TVs and films soon on CD as well. And the whole
Wow,
system of CDi
soon
is compatible
on
with
disc.
the Kodak Photo CD system that allows you to put your family snaps on a CD at somewhere like Boots.
Eventually,
Brilliant.
manufacturers are hoping, can you hold this a second? They're hoping that instead of a computer, a console, a library full of books, an old shoebox full of snaps and a CD player, you will have one of these. It is a portable CD and computer. It's a Sony Data Discman. And whilst
Wow.
it can't do all the things that it's
Never heard of that.
it's getting there and it's portable.
Otherwise known as a mobile phone these days.
Now for some more
Brilliant.
games reviews.
It's crazy to think this is
Magical
1993.
Quest is yet another game starring Mickey Mouse. This time he's hot on the trail of his missing mate Pluto, who's been snatched by evil Emperor Pete, which I think you'll agree is a pretty cool name for an emperor. Here's Kathleen.
This is a lovely game. It's easy to pick up and very fun to play. You're in an enchanted world, so the most unusual things can happen. If you pick up these gold blocks, you can spin them and then you can get coins underneath. If you get this block and then throw it at the treasure chest, there's loads of coins underneath.
I preferred Castle of Illusion to this one, I think.
If you go onto this tomato, it can protect you from spikes. So you
There
just
you go.
need to
Why
walk
not?
as fast as the tomato goes. This is an end of level boss. He shoots out these babies and you've got to try to kill them. And
What
if
is it?
you
Some
can
kind of
spin them as
flying
well, and
monkey
if you
thing.
Spin them, you can get extra points. If Mickey changes into different costumes, he gets extra magical powers.
Oh, that's quite
I
cool.
love
Quite
this
like that.
game. It's just as good as Castle of Illusion.
It's nothing special. It's quite fun, but there's nothing original in it. I'm not a great fan of this one. It's not very interesting. It's just an average platform game.
And the scores for Magical Quest, the boys gave it an average score of 3 out of 5, but the girls liked it a bit more and they gave it 4 out of 5.
There we go.
After all that conspicuous consumption over Christmas, here's a new game priced at a lean $7.99. The Galactic Warrior rats, who actually
$7.99.
look more like Galactic Warrior globs to me, have a mission to find and destroy a computer which is set to blow up their world. Here's Matthew to help them.
This game is fast and full of
Amiga. Yeah, there we go.
lots of weapons to choose from if you've got enough money. And there's some really good touches in the gameplay. This is a very good looking game in parts. Although the music is a bit poor, the sound effects are excellent. It only slows down when action's very full. Right, I'm just going through the door here. You can pick
It does
up
look a bit
credits
random,
when
to
you
be
kill
honest.
enemies. And you can use these towards buying weapons, ammo, coolant which
They say it was
reduces damage from
rats.
enemies, or orbits which follow you around, adding power to your fire. As you can see, you can't really afford to stop shooting for very long. I think this game's great value and a real challenge. But if you don't like fast shooting games, it's
Oh
definitely
yeah,
not for you.
Galactic Warrior
I like
Rats.
this. It's a playable,
Fair enough.
nice game with great sound, and it's a bargain. This is not my sort of game.
Oh yeah,
You get down to
little
your base, you get shot at. I don't see the attraction in games like this.
little thing
And the scores
shoots
for
along with you.
Galactic Warrior rats, the boys gave it 3 out of 5, and the girls thought it was an average game as well. They gave it 3 out of 5.
Way! Way! Whoa! Here are some level codes for Space Harrier on the Game Gear. Right, I'm going to try level 9. I hope you've got your biros ready and jotting these down. Level 9.
Who'd thought this through? Oh, there we go.
B, F, C, H. Level 9. It works. It
There we go.
works. Hey! Beam me up, Strutty! Whoa, whoa.
Live long and prosper, Nam. If you want to record the data blast, set your video recorder now.
Oh, yep, set up and going. Oh, the lame. Take that video.
Party, and the winners' names are going across the bottom of the screen now. Congratulations to you. The competition question you will recall was, what were the names of the 2 bands the boys were in?
Yeah,
before
what
they
was the
formed
answer?
Take That?
And the answer was The Cutest Rush and Street Beat. This
Never
week's
heard of that.
prize
Never
is
heard
to
of that
win
at all.
5 copies of Lemmings. And the question is, are lemmings a type of rat, a type of guinea pig, or a type of squirrel?
Send your
Ooh,
answer on a
guinea pig?
postcard or a stuck-down
It's not a
envelope
rat.
to the usual address.
That's not a
Mark the
squirrel.
competition.
Guinea pig.
Reach us no later than next Monday, please. And don't forget to tell us what format you would like Lemmings on. Hope you've enjoyed the programme. We'll see you next week at the same time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. Are we going to get a full ending to this one? As always, thank you to Retro Pixels for uploading this. I'll stick a link in the description below. And we'll be back again with more Bad Influence Series 1 in the next video. Until next time, enjoy the rest of the Daily Blast. Cheerio for now. Bye bye.